Hi guys, welcome to my safe space kitchen. So today we're going to be making this shrimp and fish sauce. It's so easy and it is the bomb, okay? So if you want to learn how to make it, stay tuned.
Make room at the table. Safe space kitchenette. It's running
So this is all the ingredients that you're going to need for this particular recipe. There really isn't much to it. One thing that I want to point out is you don't necessarily have to use tilapia for this recipe. I just chose tilapia because I think tilapia is easier to find, and let's face it, it's cheaper. So I already went ahead and seasoned my fish. I cleaned it very well, and then I seasoned it with a little bit of fish seasoning, some salt and black pepper, and some all-purpose. Do your own thing. I did the same thing with the shrimp as well. A little bit of shrimp seasoning, salt, pepper, all that stuff. Just do your own thing. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you should be good. Just don't overdo it because then it's going to be too salty. I also have some grape tomatoes, some garlic, some green pepper, some red onions, some ginger, habanero, and I also have some onga that I'm gonna be blending all of this together, and this is gonna be the main ingredient in our sauce. Okay, I also have some jalapenos that's gonna go in later, some red onions, and some oil. That's gonna be our first thing that we cook before we pour in our sauce. I also have some basil, some parsley, and a little bit of Italian herbs as well. So in this pot, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my oil, throw in my onions, and once my onions brown, I'm gonna go ahead like that. I'll go ahead and throw in all of the blended stuff, and that's the consistency you want, you guys. Like when I say this is it, this is it. Like you're gonna I went ahead and I rinsed my blender a little bit and poured that water in there, and from here I'm just gonna mix, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower the heat and let it cook. Okay, you want this to boil over, and try to stir it very often to avoid burns. One thing that I forgot to say is when I'm blending my sauce, the tomatoes and all that stuff, I don't add water because you're gonna have enough water. You don't need that water. Okay, so you're gonna keep checking up on your stew, and this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see that the the water is going to keep evaporating, and the sauce is going to get thicker. So here I'm adding my all-purpose spice that I made myself. It's homemade. It has saline, cloves, nutmeg. It's great for everything, and that's what you just saw me put in there. Give it a quick stir, and continue to let it simmer, and continue to cook this on low heat. Okay, after a while you're gonna see that the oils are gonna pop up like that, and that means that your stew is ready for the tilapia. You're gonna go ahead and put your tilapias in. What you want to do is you want to leave a little bit of space when you're putting in your tilapia, because tilapia is very soft, and when you stir it, you don't want to not have room to stir it, because if you don't have room, then you're gonna end up kind of doing too much, and you're gonna have a flaky stew, and that's not what you want, because if you kind of stir your stew vigorously, it's gonna be flaky, and the fish is going to fall apart, and it's gonna be flaky. You don't want that. So just leave a little bit of room here and there so that stirring of the stew will be easier, to avoid burns at the bottom of your pot. Okay, so it's very important. I just wanted to get that out there. So you're gonna cover it for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then once you see that it's cooking nicely, you're gonna give it a stir. And this is what I mean by giving it room so that you can stir. You see what I'm doing over there? Kind of just scooping it from beneath the fish, and then throwing a little bit of the sauce on top of it. So you're not doing too much moving around, to avoid your fish to be that's what I'm trying to say. So you don't want that. Okay, so that's what you want to avoid. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and add my shrimp. The shrimp is gonna go ahead and go into the spots that I left. As shrimps cook, they get a little smaller, so it's fine. You're still gonna have room to stir your stew. And honestly, once you put your shrimps in, you're almost done. There really isn't much to it. Yes, I'm scraping my bowl and I'm putting my sauce in there, seasonings in there. Yes, that's me. I'm gonna cover it and let it cook for a little bit, and after about 5 to 7 minutes, honestly, it's done. You don't want to overcook anything at this point because fish doesn't take that long to cook, neither does shrimp. Okay, so it's done. You're gonna kind of lower your heat a little bit and let it simmer. Taste it and make sure that all the seasonings are well balanced. Okay, after that, you're gonna add your salt. Okay, you notice I didn't put any salt in here because of the seasonings that I have in there. I did not put any salt, and I'm putting my salt now to make sure that I don't, overdo my salt. It's very important to always make sure that when you're cooking, you put in your salt at the very last minute. If you're confident about it, then you do it at the very beginning, but I don't. I taste my sauce to make sure that I know the exact amount that I'm putting in to avoid it being salty. So that's what you see. That's what you saw me do over there. Okay. Once that's done, you give it a good, stir. Again, not vigorous stirring. Okay. Once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my basil, a little bit of the natural herbs, and it's done. It's done. I went ahead and put my cilantro and some red onions, just for garnish purposes. But this is done. You lower your heat and let it cook a little bit, and we are done. This dish is perfect with banku. It's perfect with rice, yams. I wanted to say ampesi, but yams, plantains, whatever you want to eat it. We can eat it by itself if you're on some kind of a diet. You don't want to have carbs. Okay, so there it is, guys. It's done. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you make this, if you try this recipe and you like it, let me know in the comments below. If you don't, let me know in the comments below. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video.